Welcome back to Drugstore in the World. Anime Review episode number 11. This is the 11th episode of the series, which is we have two stories, Pass No Fail, and Sun Go Away Sunscreen Gel. Presumably from book 3, I don't know because I haven't read book 3. The first one is simply, and this kind of ties into what happens later on in the episode. We have Mina, Noella, and Renji just having lunch. And then they're joined by Paula, who then later joined by Bibi and Edge of the Demon King. And apparently this happens like a lot. Then all of a sudden, we have Paula just stop coming. Now in the case of Edgy and Bibi, they come occasionally. But in the case of Paula, she comes like almost every day. And then all of a sudden, she just stopped coming. And of course, Renji is wondering what the heck is going on. It turns out that the reason why is because she, decided to, she had a test coming up. Yep, she had a test coming up, and she needed to. It was a test for her equipment shop that she has, and because it's a tool shop, they have to renew the license, which, this is nothing unusual. I mean, my dad goes through this at some point every couple of years, where his accounting business has to renew the license in order to have it. Businesses go through this all freaking time here, so it's nothing unusual. I'm surprised the pharmacy in that series doesn't go through it. So she has trouble, needs to figure out if she can pass. So we whip something very quickly. A Pass No Fail. It's a special potion that allows you to retain your knowledge that you gained for 24 hours. And she pretty much just memorized all the work. And then she goes to the nearby town the very next day. She goes to take a test. And then a week goes by. No much results. And then Paula comes to the shop and says, "Hey, I passed. Retain my license. Hooray." And what may not bring more customers in, but at least I'm able to keep my store open. That's basically kind of what she said. And of course she says, thank Renji. At one point she was going to kiss him. And of course Noella is like, no, don't do that. Probably because she was one who wanted to kiss him. And Renji's like, you wanted to kiss me? She's like, yep. I'll save it for another time. Probably when Noella's not around. Yep. And that's the first segment. The second one is simply focused on Vivi, where it puts in the gel, but she's having trouble basically maintaining a skin complexion. So, we actually have, Renji come up with a particular solution. Now, need something like Fox. Basically, what he comes up with is freaking sunblock. To block UV rays, because they mentioned, that UV rays are the weakness of women. Also weakness of guys as well. I'm like, okay, not a bad idea to have something like this in this world. I mean, sunblock is actually a really smart idea. So, he makes it, and we have it where it's Vivi and Mina got a chance right at first, and it works. Ends up doing hey, push my cheek, it'll become squishy. Yeah. Push, push, push. Boing, boing, boing. He basically just poking the cheek. And Noelle apparently used a little too much. Decides to use it on herself and wants Renji to use it, of course. The reason why she did it is because she and Vivi are actually good friends, and she's jealous of Vivi's attention of him hugging her. And apparently, then we later have. Apparently, the thing is so got popular. Apparently, we have Elaine show up asking for her and her mother to get it, and Krudov coming in, have her and give one for him and his sister, and this sunblock sold like hotcakes. Allow them to basically pay for their food expense. Okay, cool. And that's the episode. And next week, it looks like we're finally going to explore the opening chapters of book 1. I'm like, it's about time. It's like we basically have the setting for next week is that we have Renji in the original world where he's like bored and wants to go put someplace else because he doesn't like work very much, and then he gets isekai. And apparently, this I thought was really weird. Like his outfit changes from the business suit to the outfit he wears in the show, which, as far as I can tell, there's no explanation for this. And as far as I can tell, like, how the heck he got isekai to this world, or why he was isekai'd, don't really know, because the series never goes into that for some reason. Just, oh, we have Renji just being a pharmacist. And I'm like, you're missing some story here. And it looks like, though, from the end perspective, finally going to explore it next week. I'm like, okay. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, that's it for Cycle of You. Next one is going to be Shaman King. Yep. Definitely a good episode, and it looks like, though, like in the case of Mr. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid yesterday, next week's episode is going to be the finale for both of these two. Which is interesting, though, we're going for 12 episodes instead of 13. I was kind of hoping 13, because given the fact that, well, in the case of Mr. Kobayashi's Dragon, I was hoping for 13 because the previous season of 13, I think maybe because maybe because the studio for that one was not making anything for a few years, they only had time to do 12 instead of 13. But at least give my OVA. But the case of this one, there's nothing to say we're going to get another season out of this. It's not a terrible series. No, I personally enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, as far as I can tell, despite the fact that this series is put on the site, is online, it's streamed by, of all things, Crunchyroll, there is no sign of a dub. Which you like, really? And Crunchyroll's got the license to dub this, and there's no announcement of a dub. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there's nothing for it, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and the next episode is called Let's Make It in a Different World. Drugstore. Which I think is going to be an adaptation of the opening chapters of book number 1. That's my personal guess. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish this episode was the first episode of the series instead of being the last one for the season. That's just my personal opinion anyways. But yeah, that's it for Cycle of You. Stay tuned for next two, which will be Shaman King. Okay? See you next video. Bye.